What's up everyone, Alicia here. Welcome back to my channel. As you can tell, I am at home in my gear room. If you didn't see my prior videos, you might not know that I am on like a 5-day break from trail at home, resetting myself after Maine and the Whites. I have about, oh gosh, I don't know the miles, but I have about 2.5 days left of New Hampshire to finish off before I get to Vermont on my southbound journey. But Jordan was out finishing the Whites with me this past weekend. So I wanted to come home with him and just take like a little mental, physical reset before I continue on the rest of the trail. For those of you familiar with the trail, you might know that after Moosilauke, the trail sort of changes drastically. And I was getting a little bit bored already just on that first day after I exited the Whites. So coming home to do like a little mental reset seemed like a good idea. Jordan is bringing me back to trail in, I think, what's today? Today's Wednesday. He's bringing me back to trail on Saturday. So it's just like a 5-day zero, which isn't unheard of for people hiking the trail. I just had the luxury of coming home to do it instead of paying and sitting in a hostel to do it. So I figured I'd do a couple like gear review, gear update videos for you in the interim while the hiking videos are temporarily paused. So today's video is going to be about gear that I am dropping, adding, or swapping before I go back out on trail on Saturday. So let's get going. All right, so let's first cover some of the gear that I am deciding to drop from my pack before I go back out. So I have like my laptop right here. So if you see me looking over this way, it's because I'm referencing it so I don't forget anything. So the first thing I'm gonna drop is my mesh bug net jacket. I had gotten that like on a whim before trail to have specifically for the 100-mile wilderness in Maine. For black fly season. It was a pack your fears type thing. I did use it. I did like it. But it was pretty hot. It didn't breathe really well. Like I would just wear my sports bra underneath it and put the jacket over it. I don't dislike it. I would recommend it absolutely, but the bugs have kind of died down a little bit and I haven't worn it in a really long time. So I am going to leave that at home. Second things are my lightweight gloves and beanie. I kept a lot of these things just to get through the Whites because I know the Whites can get cold at night sometimes. So things that, you know, like were going to keep me warmer potentially on a cold night, I'm leaving at home now that I'm entering Vermont and going to be in like the mid-Atlantic northeast areas in August. I don't think I need any of that stuff anymore. So leaving my alpaca gear or Appalachian gear alpaca beanie at home and my lightweight Patagonia gloves. They're staying home. I'm also going to be leaving my hiking pants at home. I was wearing the REI Trailmade hiking pants and I love those pants. They're fantastic. They dried quickly. They were comfortable. The drawstring waist was a plus. The zippered pocket on the leg was great, but I have lost about 10 pounds on trail and they're super big on me now. I have to pull the drawstring super tight and like overall they just feel very baggy and they're not comfortable to hike in anymore because there's just so much material that just feels like it's like hanging off of me. So I'm going to leave those at home. Also, it's just getting so warm that it's just too hot to wear them. Again, I kept them through the Whites just for the days that I was above tree line. You probably saw me wearing them those days, just to help keep me a little bit warmer in case it was a breezy day above tree line. But even then I was still pretty hot in them, so I am just preferring to wear shorts lately. So I am dropping the hiking pants and leaving those at home. In addition, I'm going to be leaving my rain pants at home. Again, I kept those through the Whites just to have like mostly for wind protection, or if it was raining above tree line and it was a cold rain, I wanted something to keep my legs warm. But generally speaking, if it's raining, the rain pants are too hot to wear and I would just rather my legs get wet. I don't care if my legs get wet. I don't care if my shorts get wet. The rain pants are just really unnecessary at this point in time. But since I'm through the Whites now, I don't really foresee a need for them. So they're staying at home as well. The other two things that I'm going to be leaving at home, one is going to be my Sea to Summit collapsible cup. I got that last minute before trail, thinking that I might want to make coffee in that periodically on trail, and I've made coffee a grand total of one time, and I don't even carry coffee packets, so I don't really have a need for the cup, so I'm going to be leaving that at home. And then I think I'm going to actually leave my umbrella at home. I haven't used it. Now I know that I've gotten super lucky with not too much rain on trail, and I'm hesitant to leave it at home because I have gotten lucky, and like the thought is, well, what if I do get a super heavy rainstorm? Will I wish I had it still? And I don't know, like I liked using it the day that I did use it, but if you remember like the review that I gave, it did feel like it got in the way of my field of vision, and I know I'm getting more into the green tunnel now, so I feel like, you know, like the leaves and vegetation and stuff are just going to be maybe more narrow, and the umbrella will just get more in the way. So I don't think I want to use it. It's going to be something that I'm definitely maybe going to regret. But Jordan's planning on visiting me in a few weeks again. So if I regret getting rid of it, I can always have him bring it back out to me. As of right now, it's just kind of an obstacle sitting on the side of my pack that sometimes gets hung up on things. And I've used it a grand total of one time over the 45 days on trail. So I'm gonna leave that at home, I think, and just use my raincoat when it's raining. Those are the things that I'm dropping from my pack. Now let's talk about things I'm adding to my pack. Because I'm getting rid of my hiking pants, I'm gonna actually add a second pair of hiking shorts to my clothing bag. Reason being, if my one pair of hiking shorts does get soaking wet, or like I just feel like they're getting really dirty or smelly, or like something happens to them, I want to have something else to wear at least as a backup on trail, and my hiking shorts really aren't that heavy, so I'm bringing a second pair of shorts so that way I can like alternate shorts to keep things fresher, or have an emergency pair of shorts in case I have a thru hiker moment in my other pair of shorts, and if you know, you know. Second thing that I'm still debating adding, I'm not sure. I'm debating actually adding my camp chair. It's like a pound or a little bit over a pound to add, but there's been times where I kind of wish that I had it, and now that I'm dropping so much gear, I did the calculations on lighter pack, and I can actually add in this camp chair and still have an overall lower base weight than I did when I set out on trail with all the things that I'm dropping. So if it packs up well on my pack, I think I might bring this camp chair just as a luxury item, and if I don't like it, I can send it home with Jordan either Sunday, like if I already regret it on Saturday, or, you know, in a couple weeks when he comes out, I can send it home with him, not a problem. So not really a big risk to bring it and see how it goes. Things that I'm swapping out. So I'm going to swap out my t-shirt. I've been wearing the orange Mammut t-shirt, which has been working fine. I love it, nothing wrong with it, but I kind of want to switch it up and have like a slightly different outfit. So I am bringing out my REI Swiftland running tee. Instead of orange, it's going to be yellow. And I'm going to see how I like that one. The other thing I'm swapping is my camp shoes. I'm swapping from my Zero Z-Trail sandals to the Birkenstock EVA foam slides. I had originally gotten those Birkenstocks for trail this year and opted to go with the Zeros for like specifically Maine because of all the river fording that you have to do in Maine. I wanted something that was going to be more secure to my foot in case I wore my sandals through some river fords. I didn't want them to easily slide off my feet. But I ended up just wearing my sneakers through all the fords anyway. And the Velcro on the back of my Zero sandals doesn't really function well anymore. So the Velcro always comes undone. The sandals never stay on anyway, and it's super annoying. So I'm gonna give these Birkenstocks a try. The downside is they're a little bit bulkier, so they don't fit as well in my side pockets as these Zero sandals did. But I think they're gonna be more comfortable, and I like the idea of being able to just slide my foot in instead of having to deal with like a heel strap. So a lot easier to get on and off at camp. and a little bit more like cushion for the sole. So they're gonna be more comfortable walking around town and stuff like that. And the biggest thing that I'm gonna be swapping out is my tent. So I started trail with the Nemo Hornet Osmo 2-person tent. Loved the tent, have no qualms about it. The reason I started with that tent was primarily for like the tent platforms in Maine and New Hampshire. It's a semi-freestanding tent, so I had like less requirements for staking it out on a platform. I only really needed 2 stakes if I didn't have to set up with the fly. If I had to set up with the fly, I needed at least 4 stakes. Versus on my trekking pole tent, the Z-Pax Duplex, I need at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stakes minimum to set that up, preferably 8. So with all the platforms in Maine and New Hampshire, I thought the Hornet would be the best option, and it was, because I struggled even setting up the Hornet on platforms, so I couldn't have even imagined trying to do the duplex on the platforms. I know there's ways to do it, but the downside about the Hornet is that if it's raining and you're setting up, the inside of your tent is pretty much going to get wet while you're setting up or when you're tearing down, because you have to take the fly off to set up or tear down. I'm sure there's ways around it, but I am just not well versed on that. So the duplex is easier to set up in the rain, to tear down in the rain. Nothing inside is going to get wet. It's also roomier on the inside, and I have more headspace as well. So I love both tents for different reasons, but when I go back out on trail and start, south of New Hampshire, I am bringing the duplex with me. And as far as any gear repairs that I need to make while I'm here at home, there are 2 things that I have that are currently slightly malfunctioning. The first being my Katahdin water filter bag. I have like a small pinhole in the collection bag for the Katahdin filter, so the filter still functions just fine. It's just that when I squeeze the bag to filter, I have like a small stream of water that shoots out. So when I filter, I just have to make sure that's pointing away from me so I don't spray myself in the face. But now that the bag has been able to be completely dried out, I'm going to try to put some duct tape on the outside of it to cover where the hole is, and see if that fixes it. It's not a big deal if it doesn't. Like I said, the filter still functions. It's not a big deal. It's just annoying sometimes. And the second thing that is not currently malfunctioning, but I'm not sure how much longer my fix is going to hold up, is my sleeping pad. You might remember it's been like maybe a week and a half or 2 weeks now ago in Gorham, I was having to patch a hole in my sleeping pad. Stickman helped me find it with the bathtub method, and it took us like 3 tries to try to patch the hole successfully, and it's been holding up every night since then, since we got the since the 3rd attempt. But I'm not too certain how much longer it's going to hold up, so we'll see. I don't want to mess with it right now because it is still holding, and there's a chance that it continues to hold, so I don't want to, like, why fix it if it's not currently broke type situation. So I'm going to see how it holds up, but it's just something that I'm aware of that I might have to fix again in the future. I've got a repair kit with me, so we'll see how that continues to hold up. But otherwise, everything has been holding up really well. I'm really happy with my gear. I'm going to do a video tomorrow doing a review of all the gear that I am using and have been using. If anyone is wondering how everything's been going. So look forward to that. And yeah, sorry this video was so rushed. I am doing a lot of things today, some chores. I gotta reapply permethrin to all my clothes and get to the grocery store to do a resupply, and I'm gonna do some stretching. I have a massage scheduled for tomorrow. My feet have been pretty tight for the last couple of days, so and my calves, they've been cramping up a lot, so hopefully I can get that all worked out. But yeah, so far so good this week on my rest days, and I've been eating some healthy food and getting some nutrients into my body, and enjoying my time with my puppies and my husband. So I will see you tomorrow. Bye.